Yo, morning guys, welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project, self-therapeutic psychiatric multimedia project, solving the problems, challenges, obstacles in my life, as well as a self-improvement process to reach the heights, goals, and ambitions that I set for myself and those around me. So if you want a brief breakdown and summary about what the Ahn Rho Project is, how we break it down into the subcomponents such as domains of life from finance, relationships, money, and so on and so forth, including, what we cover, and copyright-free music, as well as the title and the streaming schedule, how I put a stream out every single day, how long it lasts. You can find all those details on the previous live streams of videos straight up to January 2021. So for the past 3.5 years, I have a pretty good variety of different introductions there, and you'll find all there. So that being said, let's just dive right into the content. I'm not gonna get too much into that, right? So I'm gonna go through in the next maybe 30 seconds to 45 seconds how I'm gonna break down this live stream. It's maybe about 15 minutes long maximum, and so it's gonna be about maybe 3-4 segments. The first 5 minutes or so will be photographs and basic food, cooking, photography, nutrition, that kind of stuff, because it's most urgent and I do things according to urgency. The second portion of the stream, once we're done the photography, we're gonna get up and then we're gonna start moving around the room, and this will be a very active portion of the stream. So you'll see me walking around, and we're gonna be covering some basic stuff, again very urgent stuff, just trying to clear the clutter in the room. And then the last two portions, so maybe about 10 minutes in, we're going to cover the task list, which is a very brief rundown. We're just going to show a snapshot of the things that I have covered in terms of thoughts, abstract things that I can't really show you physically because they're not items. It's about relationships, it's about concepts, management, stuff like that. And finally, the last minute of the stream, the take-home message, always super important. So if you want to stay tuned for that, you can as well. And without further ado, let's just dive right into it. So the first thing I want to cover is what you see is what you get. What's real, honest, and genuine here. This is the kind of the branding that I started to accumulate and aggregate out of the Ahn Rho Project. I know who I am and what kind of branding and details I like about my personal preferences, and I guess even my own sort of identity. Although that word is severely misused and overused in today's society, unfortunately. But the fact is, this is what I feel like I am. And there's a lot of reds, a lot of hues like this. You can see that there's a traditional Chinese. That one came as courtesy of one of my fellow friends at the long-term seniors home. So the top one, traditional Chinese, it says some sort of philosophical stuff there, which I can't actually read, and that's to my own shame. Okay, whatever, I'm gonna have to learn it eventually. And that's something that he's a good friend of mine, and I'm gonna say PT, a good friend of mine, working as a security guard at one of the long-term senior homes that I volunteer at prior to COVID-19. In fact, I still volunteer now, but it's over the phone. And so the fact is, he sent me that, and this is a very suitable thing that matches the kind of stuff that I do for branding. It's very philosophical and pragmatic, very practical sort of project. Same thing with the left-hand side. You see, enjoy and love every moment of life. Don't save it. Something like that. Something about system. There is no system to get a refund on an unused life. So this one I received from this GIF, whatever you want to call it. I received from another fellow volunteer who she's retired, and someone who I cherish as kind of like my godmother. She's had a very tragic life, and I've had some difficult times as well, and we were able to connect very well over the things that we've overcome. And over time, she's become a very close I guess family of mine, family outside of blood, because I don't really have family that is blood, aside from my brother, and cousins, so that's still a lot already. But needless to say, I cherish her very much. I'm very grateful for PT as well as I guess SH. So these two kind of images really bleed into the Ahn Rho Project very well, and these kind of adds to the branding. Finally, the third and last image at the very bottom, right there in the dead center, is that kind of glitch opal red and I guess aqua blue photo manipulation of a photograph of myself. So this was a live stream. As you can see, ARP 311, you can barely make it out. That is the 311th live stream I had quite some time ago, so that was probably at least a year and a half, and I was there showcasing the drop leg that I had crafted. I can show you a black and white photograph as well as one with color right here. So this is kind of, again, very stuff that's very reminiscent to me about like I'm just developing my own brand, my own sort of colors and my own hues, what it is that sort of defines me and who I am and what I do. And so here's a black and white shot as well, and that's everything there. Okay, good. So I've sort of knocked out these photographs in terms of branding, and we talked about this idea now. So I'm going to remove this kind of stuff, and let's talk about the food that I said that, you know, is the first portion of the stream. So included here, we have all this kind of stuff here for the morning's breakfast. Used to make the oatmeal, you can see a bunch of different products, almond breeze, the almond milk. I did this yesterday's live stream as well. You can see that you use that in health sciences for Hepa Plus, for the liver, for the vitamins and antioxidants, for your heart and cardiovascular system. You have Ensure, the bottle of Ensure right there, of course, is to provide like a meal supplement, orange flavored. At the very back, you see oregano as well as basil leaves and black pepper. So that's something I use to make for my dinner today, which is just a sandwich, which I packaged that sandwich with some bologna into that Harvest Snaps green pea snack crisp you see at the very back top left hand side. And so I ate it out. There's mostly just a little bit left remaining in that Harvest Snaps, but I tend to put, you know, I reuse the packaging and then put the sandwich inside, so that kind of soaks in the flavor of the black pepper, because, you know, I just kind of like spicy food, kind of like that. I do have to mention that I have to kind of lay off that because I'm starting to get a bit of a cramp in my stomach, and I think that maybe because I've had too much black pepper, in addition to the fact that some of the food I ate might have been spoiled. Sorry, so that's partly my responsibility for fucking up and just eating food that is a little bit too old. And I'm anticipating I'm going to have a really difficult time today because there's a lot of work. There's some huge orders, really heavy lifting today on the production and assembly line. That's where I work. I pretty much handle the logistics between shipping, receiving, and production. Again, manufacturing protective equipment, but needless to say, it's going to be very difficult for me to work with my colleagues if I have like this kind of like food poisoning in my stomach, and that's what it feels like right now. Now you see here the bread and the pie. So this is about halfway through. I finished the oatmeal, which is here on the right hand side. I took out the bread, prebiotic bread, fiber, nutrients, all that kind of stuff, and that's the bread I use. On the very underneath that you can see the kind of green 300 says 357 grams. That's the bologna, chicken bologna that I used to, you know, with the ground cloves and everything and oregano. That's what is going to be my lunch. And you can also see, you can make out also from an aerial angle here, as you can see at the very bottom, the pie, the lemon meringue pie that is for just $1. Pick it up from No Frills if you want. Really cheap, really good. Low on sugar for 114 grams, only 14 grams of sugar, not bad. That's because lemon meringue uses a lot of water, which is good because typically I noticed that a lot of the pies you buy from the consumer market, grocery store, has way too much fucking sugar. I will say that it had a lot of saturated fat, so that wasn't that all too great, but fact is I just used it as an ingredient. Broke up half the pie, put it inside the oatmeal, microwaved it with flax seeds and stuff like that, chia seeds, and enough fiber for me to use the washroom every single morning and not have to think about it for the rest of the day. And then the other half of the pie I saved for dinner, so for dinner, so I'm bringing that to work. So that's everything. Just a nice food art photograph right here, and that's everything. So first snapshot, finally, this is again photography, of course, part of the Ahn Rho Project. I have to cover and record everything, and again, like just a huge mass photograph here, and we can finally move on to the next live stream portion. So let's get up now. So I said it's about 9 minutes in. Took a little longer than I wanted to, so let's stand up here for a second here. And wow, I noticed that there's something wrong with the effects here. There's something wrong with the effects. Color's not right. Okay, hold on. Is that right? There, that's better. Warm. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, see, that's region D1, region D2, so sorry about that, a little interruption, and region A7 as usual. A7, as I said, if you check out my previous live stream on Twitch or YouTube, I cleaned this up yesterday. It's a lot cleaner now. It's the only thing that's left remaining are the stuff that I need to do over the weekend, which is just to clip my nails, cut my hair, and put all that shit inside this newspaper over there and throw it away. scan that newspaper if I need to. If I'm not, if I'm going to use it, I can just stash it over here in region B1, so A7. And B1, B2 took them out, the utensils and stuff, put it over here. So it's very clean now, very nice. And the only thing I can mention now that's a new update, sort of, every time I do a live stream, I can sort of get myself ready for work. I'll take the phone out for the music and the podcast that I'm going to listen to when I'm working, plus the wallet, the keys, and the the Metro Pass, whatever it is, and the earphone in case I have to answer a call while I'm working. We went to the side because I do run a side business in addition to this side project as well. And so over to D1 here, we want to cover some essential stuff to some really urgent stuff, just very fundamental basics. So I'll pick up on the floor. We have this kind of Royale original. Just what's it say? It says like a 2-ply toilet paper. Basically, this is a class 2 item, and I'm just gonna mention real quick that again, a lot of domestic household issues for the past 3 decades that led to my own insecurities, and it's become just my responsibility to resolve it. No one else, and it's my fault for using things that aren't mine. At this end of the day, if I don't feel comfortable using this, I shouldn't use it. But I have been using this for at least 12 years. And that's not my own stuff, so it's a class 2 item. And I will say that I've kind of conjured up some sort of mental hack to make myself feel a little bit more comfortable with it. The fact that obviously one of my business products is on a monthly basis, I get some soap back, and that's this over here, Usana Health Sciences. So I am supplying them with my guardians with some soap. So it's kind of like a exchange, but in a sense, I'm still benefiting from the purchases anyways. In the sense that the soap products I am using someone else's credit card because I have to use also in addition to my own credit card someone else's. And so the fact is technically it's not really a completely fair trade if I say they kind of nullify each other out. But the point is, this is stuff that I'm going to throw away. Now next we have, of course, at the very bottom here, this is really the main highlight. We have again my very basic dinner for today. I'm going to put it inside this work bag alongside with the supplements, which I covered and automated in the previous live streams, as well as the water bottle and the plastic disposable spoons, work-related materials, safety equipment. In addition, I also want to include this banana. Okay, so I've been having a banana every single day. A good source of fiber. Unfortunately, it's a little bit too ripe there. So banana, a sandwich with some black pepper, and that's pretty much dinner. I have some garbage here. I'll probably put this away in here. Take it out when I go to work, and recyclables. Probably have to flatten this out as well. Leave this over here in case I might want to use this for making tomorrow's dinner. And again, it would be just very much the same thing, very similar. And try to have some variety, but right now I don't have enough time to do that. But I'm just gonna repackage again more sandwiches for tomorrow using this kind of packaging from the snack foods I ate up. So that's it, and maybe tomorrow I'll bring one of these. But let's turn to the side here. So again, I'm gonna bring this to work, so I should probably put this inside. All right, good. D1 is all cleaned up. Food basics of going to work, all that stuff. Let's sit down. We have about a minute and a half left, and let's cover the task list that I wanted to showcase. Okay, so all right, hold on a second here. I gotta pull up a better one. Okay. All right, that's better. So this is a task list we have here, and I'm gonna cover real brief. Brief what? Look, really quickly, there's a whole bunch of stuff here that I can't get through, obviously in about a minute, but I'm going to remove the first one and say, most importantly, if you take a look at the title, it says recovery from relapse and curiosity satisfied. There was something that I've been binging on recently in terms of not just food, and so I've been trying to recover from that sort of like, just pleasure seeking, eating, watching videos, stupid stuff like that over the past 36 hours. So I've managed to keep myself back on track now, and it's back onto the business, back onto this project, back onto my colleagues, back onto the work, and that's good. And the last thing I want to say, of course, there is a little video I want to show here, but unfortunately there's not enough time, and so this is for tomorrow, sent from, again, PT. So take home message, we'll save this for tomorrow morning. Take care of yourself, your health, your finance. Make sure you become a strong, responsible, disciplined individual, and I hope to see a better version of you as well as myself in a live stream tomorrow morning. This is Ahn Rho signing out. Ciao.